Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Let's Inspire Together. I'm your host, Leandra Richards, and today we'll be doing our lit lockdown interviews via video conferencing, along with our music videos featuring positive local, Caribbean, and international artists. I'm recording from Mount Irvine Bay in Tobago because our restrictions have eased up a bit, and so I hope that the waves aren't too loud for you all. Right? But if you guys are anything like me and like to have the freedom to move about and meet people in a wide range of spaces and places, or even if you're the kind of person who was happy for the excuse to avoid excessive social interactions, certain kinds of interactions during this period, I think we'd all agree that the adjustment needed for the coronavirus was a very steep learning curve for most of us. What hasn't changed for us is our need to have meaningful and inspirational discussions that could uplift and inform. And some of us may even need a little bit more upliftment than usual, if you know what I mean. So hopefully our interviews today might be able to resonate with someone who feels that way. But before we get into the planned interviews, let's take a look at our international music video, the Elevation Worship cover of Here in the Presence by Father Rob.
Here I lay my burdens down, lose my worries in your love, casting every care on you. I have carried them enough. We're not alone here within His love. Emmanuel, He is still with us. When the world becomes too much, near the cross I will remain until every fear is still. At the mention of your name, we're not alone here within your love. Emmanuel, He is still with us. We're not alone here within His love. Emmanuel, He is still with us. Mercy is falling, falling. Lift up your hands and receive Him now. Here in the presence of the Lord, I know your past is broken. You can move on, it's over now. Here in the presence of the Lord, tired of running,
Today we have two interviews with some very talented and driven women, Lesley Lewis and Ruth Osman. They both work in the performing arts while balancing careers and families. So we're just going to talk a little bit about how these responsibilities interact with each other and their thoughts about how COVID affected these interactions. But before we get into it, let's take a look at our second video, which comes from the US, entitled I Shall Not Be Moved by Amanda Vernon.
Just when I get cozy, things are switching on me. Just when I'm complacent, everything's all changing. And I'm saying, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh. Bring the rain, let it pour on my face. Bring the waves, let them crash, let them break. Bring the clouds, let the storm roll on through. I shall not be moved. Just when I get lazy, things are getting crazy. Just when I get settled, everything unravels. I'm saying, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh. Bring the rain, let it pour on my face. Bring the waves, let them crash, let them break. Bring the clouds, let the storm roll on through. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved like a tree planted by the water. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved like a tree planted by the water. I shall not be moved. Bring the rain, let it pour on my face. Bring the waves, let them crash, let them break. Bring the clouds, let the storm roll through. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh.
Our third video for this episode is from one of our guests, Miss Lesley Lewis, entitled Oceans.
You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed and you won't start now. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours and you are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours and you are mine.
Welcome back, guys, to Let's Inspire Together. Today, for our lit lockdown episode, we have the lovely Miss Lewis, Miss Lesley Lewis with us, sharing some of her thoughts and some of her experiences with us. So, Lesley, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking
Thank
the
you.
time.
Yes, it's really such a pleasure and almost an honor, to feel that, what my perspective is, worthwhile. So thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So I want to start off with you giving us a little bit about your ministry, telling us a little bit about yourself, first and foremost.
Yes. So I started off singing from very young age. I suppose like most singers, 5, 6 years old in church, just always wanting to use my voice, sending my family crazy, of course, singing at home all the time. So really starting off in church, and I had joined the Love Movement when I was quite young as well, by the time I was 10 years old. So that is really where a significant part of my development as a singer, as a performer, and, just really using the art form to minister to others. The Love Movement's motto is bringing love and peace through music, something like that. It's probably a little more coherent than that. But because I did a lot of singing and choreography, I eventually did choreography with the group. Just a lot of the arts, even in the acting, has really helped to develop my art form. And so beyond that, I've done work with other people, even as a soloist and with other groups. And really, it's just started from young and using my desire to always want to minister with other people.
Oh, that's so lovely. But how challenging is it really in your art form to manage your life with kids and as a mother and as a working person and balancing all of these things?
So certainly, as you know, as the years got on and I did get married and I had to think about, time with my husband. And when the children came, of course, I want to be a good mother. And I mean, that is what God has called me to be. I need to fulfill those roles. So, it's probably needless to say that it was a challenge because I also felt very much that, music and singing was still part of my identity and part of something that, I was called to do. So I
Definitely.
think, you know, even in the challenge, my husband has always been very supportive. He, of course, enjoys coming to see me perform, but he also understands that, the importance of it in my life. And
Yes.
I think, because he is so supportive, of course, the children are also, understanding and they actually look forward to it now. So I'm
Mm.
quite excited. My daughter, she's 5 years old in 2 weeks, and she seems like, she's getting ready to go just like I was at that age. So, it's one of those things where even though it's a challenge to sing as much and go to as many choir rehearsals. I'm now getting at home to share that with them, and they, can join in that journey somehow.
Oh, that's great. I also wanted to find out your thoughts on the music industry here. Um,
Okay.
it's a little bit challenging,
Yes.
for some
Yes.
for some people, and learning from your experience and how it is that you choose to balance it, and even your views of what the industry is and what is needed to help build the industry could be
Right.
valuable to somebody who's listening to this.
Yes. So again, in my own journey, as my, the different developments in my life took place, I
Mhm.
realized more and more the importance of network. But I mean, network sounds kind of, cold, but it is what it is, just having that community. I think community, people understanding where you are in your journey. But even besides that, we can't get anywhere in the arts in Trinidad unless we really are willing to work with others, support others, build others up, and also rely on that. So I'm very grateful that even when I was not able to do as many rehearsals, because of my family commitments, because people still valued what I could bring, they made a space for me, to accommodate, my art into what they wanted to produce. And I think that's extremely important, that people should be, more collaborative and be willing to help one another because we each have something valuable to offer.
Yes. As it stands, do you think that right now in the Caribbean context, in the Trinidad and Tobago context, that people could really
Yes.
build a meaningful career in the industry, and even in these times, I mean, with COVID, there were so many
Yes.
changes. This new normal. What is your view on that? How do you plan to get over those
Yes.
hurdles?
I mean, the arts, yeah, I mean, there are many other industries who I know is significantly affected by the COVID lockdown, and the arts quite significantly so because, there are no more performing spaces. You don't have the weddings and, the religious events, things that music have always been a significant part of. So,
Yes.
yes, it has been extremely challenging, but even in this time, we recognize how important artists have been because you see so many people take to social media and, putting on whether it's a mini concert or posting, a song, and the audience is still there, very appreciative. So
Yes.
it is hard work, even outside of the COVID season. Making a career in the arts is hard work, but anything that's worth something is hard work, and I
Oh,
feel, again, if we are very much seeing ourselves as a community of supporting one another, we can see a lot of benefits coming, to the industry when we support one another in that way.
yes. My kids actually came in during the interview, but
Yes, I know that life. That's been the working from home life. But because
Yes,
it's happening to everyone, you don't feel badly about it because,
yes,
this
yes.
is,
But I mean, if I could really capture something important from what you just said there,
yes,
it's
hi.
that anything, anything worth working towards, anything that is worth it is
Yes,
something worth working towards, and
yes,
that effort that you put into it there, getting people to see that that effort is worth it, even through the difficulties, even through these challenging times,
yeah, yeah,
it's something that we could really appreciate as people who enjoy
yes,
the arts. So
yes.
that you really gave some pearls of wisdom there, and I thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today and to just share a little bit of yourself. And I hope that your career takes off and that you're able to get that message of the networking and building community and all of these things out to other people, So
Yes.
thank you so much, Lesley.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yes. Okay. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Our fourth video is entitled Everybody Needs a Song. It's performed by our second guest, Miss Ruth Osman.
While I was sleeping, I came to the water's edge where people were meeting, open faces and outstretched hands. What are they doing? Why are they here? I asked a woman who was standing near. Everybody needs a song when they feel they can't go on. Everybody needs a tune to chase the blues away. Everybody needs the words for that longing deep inside. Doesn't matter where you're from, everybody needs a song. Doesn't matter where you're from, everybody needs a song. We sang and shared stories there at the water's edge. A shadow and glory, of sorrow and happiness. What are we doing? Why are we here? I asked that woman who was always near. Everybody needs a song when they feel they can't go on. Everybody needs a tune to chase the blues away. Everybody needs the words for that longing deep inside. Doesn't matter where you're from, everybody needs a song. Doesn't matter where you're from, everybody needs a Come to the water, let yourself ride. All of the feelings you've hidden Everybody needs a song to get where you're from. Everybody needs a song. Everybody needs a song.
Welcome back to our Lit Lockdown episode. We have our second guest with us this evening. Her name is Ruth Osman. Ruth, thank you so much. I know it took some efforts to get this interview going, but thank you so much for making the effort for us this evening.
Thanks for having me, Leandra. Thank you. Thanks for your patience as well.
No problem at all. I'd like to just start off by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your work,
Right. So I am a Guyanese-born, Trinidad-based singer-songwriter, flautist, poet. I've been performing. The story is almost cliche. I've been performing since childhood. I grew up in church. And I started writing songs and singing and playing flutes in church.
Flutes.
Flutes, yes. And yeah, it's been quite a while, quite a few decades. I won't tell you how many. And now I'm doing it. I've been doing it professionally for about more than 15 years. Let's say, between 15 and 18 years.
Great.
Yes.
Nice. I mean, how do you find the time to I mean, in the arts, it takes a lot, between
Right.
practicing and between actually performing and doing all the other things in your life, being a
Right.
wife, being a mother,
Right.
being all those things. I mean, how do you manage?
And the first thing you know, if you're seeing a white thing sticking up here, this is a dog paw, right? This is a dog's paws. So don't panic and want to know what that is. There's a dog on the sofa. But I, at the risk of sounding not as optimistic as people would expect, sometimes I don't manage. Right? I wish I could say that it was easy, and I also wish that I could say that I have been able to do everything that I wanted to, but that really isn't the reality.
Right.
I am very happy with the path that I was fortunate enough to take, and the people that I've been blessed to have in my life. My husband is very supportive. We have a child, and so mothering, wifing. I also have a full-time job.
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And so there have been sacrifices. I haven't been able, for example, to create as much as I'd like to. I have to fit, find time in my schedule to be able to create. Sometimes I have to run away from some things, just to sit in a cafe and and focus. I haven't been able to tour in the way that I'd like to as well. So it's not as simple as saying, with hard work and dedication, you can have the full vision. You can realize your full vision. It really is a dance for me around priorities, and I also understand that life is a journey, and that situations change and evolve.
Yes.
Our daughter will get bigger,
Yes,
as time goes on.
I
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand, and I really appreciate the realness and the and the honesty in that answer. You know, it's um sometimes a lot of us see those challenges, see those difficulties, and it seems so easy for others. The people who
Yeah.
are doing it, people like yourself who seem to be, to have it together and balancing all of these things, so that the realness of that
Together.
answer, yeah, the realness in that answer is really, really appreciated,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it really also is teamwork, and it has a lot to do with the support networks and the people around. Yes, Sarah, I hear you. And the people around that empower and enable and encourage and pick up the slack, you
Yes,
know?
on that note, it's like you you're working in a field, in an industry, or in the arts. What do you think is needed, generally in the arts
Yeah,
to build that area? Yeah.
yeah, a lot.
Yeah, yeah. You spoke about
I think
networking.
Caribbean people, I think we're so blessed because because of our culture and our traditions and where we come from, rhythm, music, poetry. It's a really rich cultural heritage, and it comes so easily to us that sometimes we take for granted the amount of work. And by work, I don't just mean creative output. I mean the infrastructure, the legislation, um, the spaces for teaching, and for distribution of music, the spaces for performance. I think we underestimate sometimes how much work it takes to really get an industry going,
Yes,
because we're so
yes,
talented. Like, we get by on raw energy and
yes.
amazing talent. And so I think we have shortchanged ourselves, because what we really see, the stars that we really see, are really the few who have managed to overcome so many obstacles. And there's so many others who, if we had done the work, as communities and as societies, and I mean Guyana, Trinidad, I don't just mean here in Trinidad and Tobago. If we had done the work, so many more would have been successful, would have made names for themselves. Um,
So you're speaking about would have and would have made names for themselves. So, um, in terms of building a realistic career in the industry in the Caribbean,
yeah,
um, in Trinidad, in Guyana, wherever, in our small spaces, in our small market spaces, and so on. And given the change in our circumstances, things like COVID-19
yeah, yeah.
all the changes that are happening in the world right now, do you think that, I mean, what words of inspiration can you say to somebody who wants to build a career at
Yeah.
this time, you know?
Lord, you're asking these questions. And I want to be encouraging. I also want to be realistic. I think that what has happened with COVID and the quarantine and the situations around COVID is that we have realized that we really can innovate, and there is scope and room for thinking outside of the box,
Yes,
and for providing a service and realizing a vision in different ways to what you would have thought it had to be.
yes,
So 10 years ago, for example, I would have envisioned myself, singing in a smoky, cafe,
yes,
in
yes,
performing jazz, and that would have been my idea of success, of my doing what I wanted to do.
yes,
Um, it's shifted because I have evolved and matured, but besides that, there's also the realization that there's this wonderful thing called the internet, right?
yes, yes,
um, and that even if we can't necessarily meet in large numbers to have a concert or have a show, I could still showcase my talent. I could still share my message, say what I have to say, and share it online. So there's that as well. What I've also seen a lot of my musician friends doing, they're literally diversifying their portfolio. They're teaching online, they're teaching music, they're sharing their music, of course, having live performances. But there's so much more that we can do. So I think that what COVID has done is sort of forced us to step out of the box.
Yes.
And to think of creative and innovative ways of sharing our message. That said, I there's still something to be said for energy in a room. It's totally different when you're in front of a camera and your audience is separate and apart from you, to when they're sitting or standing in front of you and you are sharing that vibration and that energy. And so I am very much looking forward to hopefully the not too distant future when we can do that again.
Okay. Can you repeat what you said about the energy in the room? You went off for a little while there.
Oh, there is something to be said for the energy in a room, that where you share vibrations and you share your vibe with an audience, with a live audience that's seated or standing in front of you.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's so true. It's a big adjustment for somebody who, like most performers I know, kind of feed off of that energy from an audience.
I do as well. Yeah.
So it's a big adjustment. Ruth,
I feel like I didn't fully answer that question. I feel like there were other parts of that question that I missed. Let me know.
I mean, to build a realistic career in these times, I mean, every little bit counts. You know, and innovation, being innovative, I think that you really you covered it because we do have to find ways to be innovative in these times. I don't think that we really sit back and expect things to be the way that they will and wait for it to come back to the way that they were, because the fact is it may never go back to what it was. So innovation is basically the key. You really did, you really did meet the criteria as far as I could see. One of the main criteria. So Ruth, I want to thank you so much for taking the time this evening and sharing a little bit of yourself with us. It's great to meet you. It's great to see you and to
Leandra, same here.
To experience a little bit of your energy and your realism and everything like that. So thank you so much, Ruth. All right.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Bye. Video number 5 is by Corrine and Christina Fergusson, Waymaker.
worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keep, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. We worship you, we worship you. You are here, healing every heart. We worship you, we worship you. You are here, turning lives around. We worship you, we worship you. You are here, mending every heart. We worship you, we worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 Even when I don't see it working, even when I don't feel it working, you never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like
birds flying high. You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. Well, it's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Oh, blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. Well, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Now dragonflies out in the sun, you know how I mean, don't you know? And butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world, and a bold world for me. For me. I feel a scent of a pine. Well, you know what I mean. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Well, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
So I hope we were able to inspire you with this lockdown episode of Lit. But before we go, I wanted to share a little bit about my lockdown experience during this time. As a mom, I have small children. So I can say that isolation definitely was not really part of my lived experience. In the truest sense of the word. You know, as a matter of fact, sometimes I long for a little bit of isolation so that I could focus on my own thing. my own interests, just have my own little creative bubble as I'm accustomed to when they're at school or whatever. But that just wasn't possible in any real or substantial way. So if I had to use one word to describe my experience, I would say it was a sacrificial experience. Yes, sacrifice. And that's how I align my experience of conceptualize my experience as something aligned with discipleship. It feels a little strange to admit that I struggle with feeling uplifted at certain times. I didn't lose a job. I didn't have to worry about how to pay rent or how to put food on the table. But I still struggled. I struggled and I battled with a sense of ungratefulness because I struggled. But I realized that I can absolutely empathize with and be compassionate towards those who did experience those things. And I could be grateful that my basic needs are provided for, that my kids and the rest of my family are safe and protected and all of that. I could be grateful for those things, and I could still feel some sort of way about missing my personal time for creativity. I could feel that way about missing the time that I spent by myself and doing my own thing. I did miss that time, but that didn't make me ungrateful. Missing that time didn't make me an ungrateful person. I hope that you enjoyed our episode today, and I hope that you all, be safe, still maintain a caution. There is nothing such as an overabundance of caution. Be cautious, right? We haven't had something like this in our lifetime, in our generation. This is something so unique. So let us all look and see what are the lessons we're supposed to learn from it, what are the adjustments we're supposed to make, and let's try our best to make those adjustments. And I really hope that you all enjoyed this episode, enjoyed this little bit of time that you spent with me and with my guests. And thank you all for taking the time to spend some time with me today. Take care. Bye.
From a small church choir to an internationally appreciated entity, for 48 years Trinidad and Tobago's The Love Movement has entertained and touched the hearts of audiences locally and internationally with a unique blend of musical performance and ministry spanning Broadway,
But it'll never be enough, never be enough.
gospel and even calypso music. With the current period of pandemic lockdown, the multi-generational musical collective has launched the Love and Hope campaign. Leader Bernadette Lachlan Scott shared on the group's positive impact and the motivation behind this current campaign.
The success of our concerts and of our ministry to heal hearts and change lives is evident in the concerts that we produce, where the untapped talent of our young people and of our members molded into performances that are stunning. This was, I think she was about 14 years old when she wrote this. The Love Movement is more than a choir. It is a family filled with people of different races and ages. It has changed my life tremendously. I have achieved things I would never have dreamt I could achieve. It is a confidence builder for any individual. Every child has the ability to do great things, but does not always have the courage they need to succeed. The Love Movement provides the support and encouragement. That since all of us were on lockdown and many people were on lockdown, it would be a good idea if we could use our gifts and talents and start writing messages of hope, entertain them through the people who are looking, that will bring them comfort, and especially to those who so many are shut in, and now we are sending them out and the response has been great.
The Love and Hope campaign is geared towards providing the public with messages of comfort and upliftment during this time via the various members' many talents, which include song, dance, musical instruments, and the spoken word.
Fed up. I know you want this to be over. Love is gonna win.
You are here, moving in to a place where we'll be safe. We love you all.
Even with the limitations on gatherings and the closures of concert halls, Bernadette remains inspired and determined to keep the 170-member Love Movement creatively connected to the public in order to continue sharing music and messages of positivity.
Phase 2, which is what the new phase will be called, is now simmering under fire. And I am confident that greater things are in store for the Love Movement family as we face this new normal.
I'm Damian Sogren.